Hey, everybody. Welcome to Comic and Collectible Treasures, episode number 17. Yes, number 17. Can't believe I'm there. Thank you for everybody who just hangs out on the live chat and watches the replay. Today, I have an amazing guy, my so-called brother. I love watching his shows. You guys are super excited. I'm super excited to get this guy on finally and hang out with him and geek out. I've hung out with him once at Nuclear Comics, but I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's just get our brother here and just geek out. John Comics with Kids, baby. Here he is. John, what's up?
Yo, I'm used to being stuck backstage so much longer than that.
I know. You know how we get that no good treatment when we're always back there doing nothing and waiting for his congratulating him on the celebrations. And
I was gonna go get a coffee, and I figured it would be a little while, so I'm not used to just being like, here. Okay, the show's actually starting.
I know it's a little different feel. I'm the same way. I'm still waiting in the green room. I haven't been on the show.
Yeah, I keep that tab open and just refresh every once in a while, and maybe I'll get lucky.
Not here. I got you, John. You're my so-called brother. Hey, I think maybe because it's Southern California people. You know what I mean?
We treat people better than those Jersey folks.
Yes. Love for you guys. All love for you guys, but maybe it's just no good. That's what it is.
It's probably just Justin. That's probably just Justin.
But welcome, brother.
He's busy buying Legos and stuff these days.
Yes, he's obsessed with Legos, which is cracking me up because I'm all, oh my God, he was there like 3 days in a row. Relax, Justin, relax.
I mean, at this point, the only like hobby he can get in that's more expensive is property. Pick a hobby that's like gonna really save your wallet. I don't know what this is.
Yes, but it's
Legos, man.
I love it. I have a couple. My wife loves it just as much as Justin, but more than me because I have Legos all over the place, and it's all hers.
I love it, man. He didn't understand how already into Legos I was. So I was like, dude, I got it. I got you.
I know, it was cool because he invited me to join you guys probably this coming Saturday to do a little Lego thing. I'm like, yeah, I'm totally doing, and I just bought a couple of them yesterday. So
just so that you can build.
No. We'll make it clear. I bought my wife 4 Legos, and I ended up getting 1. So they're 4-to-1 ratio. Yeah. But welcome, John. I'm honored to have you, brother. I'm super happy.
I'm grateful to be here, man.
Thanks for chilling with me on this Sunday. But before we start, let's check the chat and say hi to everybody. We're going to skip to this one right here. Glenn, what's up, brother?
What is going on?
He had a funny one because he started with this one. He's all, I'm first.
Represent.
Yes. And we have Wong. Peace, brother. Thanks for coming in, Wong. He's always showing love to everybody. Oh, one of our Canadian friends up there. Travis.
I mean, Wong is only showing love as long as it's not Brandon.
Yes.
If he sees Brandon, it's going to be, the guns come out.
Yes, they have a little competition, a friendly competition.
It's good. No, I love it. I was actually rewatching the one that you did with Justin or Brandon recently. It was funny.
He had me cracking up. I couldn't even talk straight.
You were crying the whole time. It was so funny.
Steve, what's up, brother? From Team Nerd Herd, what's up, brother? Thanks for showing some love.
Another SoCal brother.
Yes. We need to hang out and just chill.
I'm down with that. Let's all go over and get some In-N-Out burgers or something.
Oh, I'm totally down for that too. I think next week, me, him, Rob from the Low Grades are going to do a little comic hunting if you're free.
Oh, next weekend. That sounds good for me, actually, because it's the start of my vacation week. So
cool.
Let's tear it up.
I'll DM you my phone number and we'll do something.
Definitely.
Hell yeah. Nice. Who else we have? Oh, Big John. What's up, dude? I love this guy.
Snowing there. Oof. I was at the beach yesterday.
I know. I was putting. Oh, speak of the devil. Oh, Robert, what's up, brother? So he's. We're thinking we're gonna jam on his side and go hunt down there, so we can meet somewhere halfway, and we'll just go from there.
Nice.
So that'd be cool.
That'd be a blast. Yeah.
Sheena.
You're the
How's
best.
it going,
Sheena.
girl? She playing hooky from work, or is she on her break?
I mean, it's good either way.
Oh, speaking of devil, Justin. I'm gonna block him right now, so we don't have to.
300 seconds of timeout. Deal with it.
Still backstage, yes. Hashtag still backstage. Yeah, that's kind of love he shows his brothers. I see how it is. Perry's Comics, what's up? Thanks for
That's my guy. That's my guy. He was joking with me earlier today. He's hilarious, man.
Nice. And it looks like everybody right now. If I missed you, I apologize. I will highlight you. Just say something. Oh, yeah. There we go. We're good for Saturday. Nice. All right. For sure. I'll give you my number, John, and we'll all hook up. Nice.
Yeah. I'm supposed to do some kind of a show with No Good Comics that day, but I don't know. He always cancels on me.
Yeah. He'll probably keep you backstage somewhere.
I know. So I got time. I'll just be on the phone while we're hunting.
We'll just do a little bit later because I think it's like at 7 in the morning our time. Yes, please hit the like button. So thank you guys. Thanks, Justin.
So if you guys don't know 90 MFC, that is Chad. He goes by 90 miles from comics because his LCSs are so far away from him. But he had his not so little kid now. I think he's coming up on 2 or something. He's a giant now. Oh, wow. But yeah, so we miss you, Chad. Nice to see you when you can jump in the chats, man.
Yeah, thank you for dropping by. Yeah, sweet. I'll say we have him laughing up. That's everybody. John, again, thank you for coming by. I like to switch it up and have my friends give their little insight at the beginning. So if you want to plug your shows right now, because usually at the end I'll tend to forget. So I like doing it at the beginning. So
it's all good.
Brother, if nobody knows you, let them hear who you're all about and where you're from, brother.
Yeah, I'm as JD mentioned, we are SoCal homies from the same portion of Orange County, California. I've been on YouTube for a little over 4 years now, I think, maybe somewhere in that range. And I started about 6 months after like Bueller, Tom, and Reggie hit, and I was like, this looks like fun. I got to try it. Not I haven't been as successful as those guys, but having some fun. Mostly just reviewing comics. Saturday mornings, hanging out with my girls. On the couch, just talking about whatever we're reading. If they're, my oldest is reading Stephen King's It, and we're like, okay, here we go, buckle up. My youngest is usually reading Archie, so she's always talking about older comics. That's what she loves. And then whatever I got that week at the LCS. Tuesday nights, I'm hanging with that knucklehead in the chat, No Good Comics, and we've been cruising through those omnis, the Uncanny X-Men Claremont Omnibus. And so that's been my regular Tuesday routine with Justin. And then I have a Dungeons and Dragons show I do with my buddy JP Budget Collecting every Sunday usually, but we're taking today off for the football game. And then I do a Comic Gories game show on my channel every other Monday usually. Lots of community members with 30 seconds to scramble through their collection and find fun covers. It's usually a show that has a lot of laughs and a lot of books you may have never heard of or seen before. And then a fun way to get to know a handful of new community members maybe you haven't seen in your channels before. Nice. And, I think that's mostly it. Oh, once a month I do a recap of my favorite new books from the month before with my buddy White Whale Comics. We've been doing that show for almost 4 years. That's our like new comic book day book club. And it used to be a weekly show, but we just couldn't keep up with all the books and find still stuff that we liked. It was easier once a month to look back and look at all the books that we liked and skip maybe the books we didn't want to read.
Nice. I love your shows, especially the Saturday morning. I love your girls, especially with the bagels. I'm all, I never tried that with the bagel. I'm going to have to try it with the jam. So that's a plus, but the books that they love is amazing.
Yeah.
So, everybody, please sub him up. Check out his Instagram. His TikTok is fire. He is killing it. You're cracking me up, man.
It got a little crazy today because I posted a video this morning or late last night. And then this morning, a buddy of mine, one true comic Nerd King, One True Nerd King posted a video that we did together. And my Instagram has been blowing up all day with like comments and stuff because it's hilarious. They both came out really funny, I think.
Yes, dude, you're killing them. My favorite one's still the X-Men when you're you're hitting the regular books. Oh my god, I watched that like 15 times. I love that
one. My girls want to do a remix where they are slapping the books out of my hand, so we might vary it up next time.
I can't wait for that. Dude, that's amazing. So everybody's here to see what you geek out about. I call it treasures. I know you put a laughing face on it.
I mean, yeah, my stuff might not fall into that category, but
to the treasures to your heart. That's what I call it as.
There you go.
So what do you have to show us for the chat here and everybody who watches the replay, brother?
Well, I don't know how long the show's going to last, but you may not make the Super Bowl game. We're just going to go.
That's okay. This is your show. This is your day. I'm here to hang out with you, brother, and I'm ready.
I'm going to start with one of the cheapest books in my collection because you could probably find this for $5, $1, whatever. But it's the first comic I distinctly remember getting off a spinner rack and wearing down. So this is a newer copy, but this is The Incredible Hulk and Wolverine. Oh, this was a one-shot. Yes. It's got a wonderful wraparound cover there. And for those that don't know, this is a sort of printing and collecting of the Hulk 180 and the Hulk 181. And so this is an awesome way to have read those books. This is the first time I ever read those stories, and as a kid I was just like, what? I needed more of this. I had heard of Wolverine and the Hulk, but I had never read these issues. So to have them kind of reprinted in this way, it was certainly a fun option to enjoy. And you get two comics for the price of one. What cost $2 there, and
nice.
Yeah, I absolutely adored this book when I was a kid, and my copy it's probably like dust in the wind at this point.
Mine is trashed. I need a new one.
It's a great way to enjoy those books. Obviously, they've got facsimiles and stuff now, but for me, this was it right here. Sit down and quit leaving. There you go. So I had to start with that. This was my first.
That's a good start right there. I like it.
Distinct comic memory, for sure. And if I didn't start with an X-Men book, I'm sure Justin would give me grief about it.
That's okay. That's okay.
So I've basically I wanted to get, we'll get Mutants out of the way at the beginning. So I pulled a bunch of stuff. But I will say that this set right here of X-Men books was probably my first love for X-Men. And it started right around issue 200 with the original trial of Magneto. Yep. And this was when I just was madly obsessed with these characters. I was fascinated. There was no Xavier. Magneto becomes the leader of the team, or the boss of the team.
Yes.
You get it's followed by another phenomenal issue for me. Probably the best Mohawk Storm cover. I mean, I just look so good. One of my favorites. So good. And I know this is the key because it's Baby Cable, but I don't care. This is a key because of what a great issue, and the Danger Room battle. So good. And so all the way through, I mean, yeah, this is the Romita Jr. era. Some great stories going on here. Rachel Summers comes back. Spoiler alert, Justin. I know you didn't get that far.
Yeah. That 202 is one of my favorite covers when I was a kid, and I picked it up because of the cover.
The Sentinels, man.
Yes.
Right?
That's so amazing.
Always down for more Sentinels. And then it got into the stuff where I really fell in love with Wolverine.
Yes.
The issues with... Oh, see, there you go. The issues with Wolverine covers became my obsession. And these were the ones that I was like, yeah, I want more of those. And it all led up to my favorite story arc, which was the Marauders Massacre storyline.
Great story.
I was way obsessed with this, and just so many great covers and so many great fight sequences. I mean, look at all the bloody Wolverine covers. It was just I was all about all of it.
One of my favorite ones right there too.
Right?
Yes.
And I recently snagged, last year I snagged, because, this was a book that I want to get a nice high grade copy of that. And my buddy, Comic Man Andy, was selling this. And I was like, let me get it. And I even had it he was in the old slab case, so I had it reholdered. But just, I mean, I love this era of cover, those anniversary cover, border covers. Just so classic.
Yes.
So, and then apparently this is the full appearance of the Marauders. But I didn't know that. Was that BLC? What's up, BLC?
Yes, BLC's here. Bricks is here. What's up, guys? Thanks for coming in and hanging out. And we have Free Energy also. What's up, Free?
So yeah, the X-Men and specifically that, like, I guess it's mid 80s era of X-Men was like that's where I fell in love with those characters. I've since obviously gone back and discovered I got a couple of these floating around my house. There's another one right there. It's just fun. It's just stuff. It's just stuff floating around. But then, yeah, this is my favorite X-Men cover. So when it comes to mutants, that's kind of my original love in comics. So Storm, there's my Storm and Nightcrawler pops.
Nice.
And it included in that is the New Mutants, when Claremont started that New Mutants run with Bill Sienkiewicz.
Oh yeah,
Sienkiewicz. Yeah, I said it right. And then later the Tom Taylor all new Wolverine run. I got that. Those are pretty much all the Omnis I have are X related, like all of them right there.
What's up, Mars?
A 9/4 X-Men 129. I mean, BLC. That's a big boy book. That is a big. I know, because I bought all the ones I could find in the last year. I didn't find a 9/4. I got a lot of other ones though.
Dude, those are amazing books though. You can't. Oh, yeah, for sure. 129 is sick. I have. Go ahead, Jeff. I'm sorry.
No, I ended up. I didn't have all 4 of them for long. Everybody's like, "You've got all 4." No, I sent 2 of them were gone that first weekend. Because to get the 9/0, I traded the 6/0, one of the 6/0s. And then if you watch the video I made last night and the unboxing by JP, you saw that the 8/5 was a gift for JP, so it ended up in his collection now.
Oh, nice! I've got a trade. I have a couple of books.
Now the 8/5 was an A-okay. I gave that one away, but the 6/0 was part of a trade. Yeah.
Nice.
So it's always cool when you can upgrade. 4, I'm down to 2, which feels more reasonable.
Oh, have you seen my post of my Alpha Flight Lady Deathstrike?
You got me beat.
Oh man, every time I see it, I feel like what's that movie from Mel Gibson, Conspiracy Theory? You know how he buys the book?
The Catcher in the Rye, yeah.
I don't know why. I just buy it every time.
I'm like that with Savage Dragon 1. Like, I'll buy, if I see a decent priced Savage Dragon #1, the miniseries, not the regular, like, I'll buy it.
Oh, nice.
I'm a little obsessed with that Eric Larson stuff. Nice. Yeah. I totally agree. Those 3 runs or story arcs are all really, really great. And yeah, Mark Silvestri, underappreciated, I think, artist on the X-Men. I know everybody goes Byrne and Jim Lee and even Paul Smith, but like not a lot of people go Silvestri. And I've come to really love his covers. That one with Wolverine on the X cross.
I was going to do the same thing. Yes.
So good.
How is that iconic book for everybody? I love that book.
I want to say it's right here. It's probably right here. Can I find it in time? What is she? Was it?
Plenty of time. Time is on your side, you know? Time.
Yeah, right.
Oh, there's my singing.
It's not that one. It's in this box, I swear.
Ooh, I love that.
There it is.
Stanley right there, little X-23 in the background.
Yeah. I swear I had it in here. Oh, I know I bought it. I know I have it.
John, is that you on the background as a Trekkie?
The greatest American hero?
I've never noticed that.
So
I love it.
I can't even find the book. That's a bummer. I know I got it floating around here somewhere. Yeah, I have. So let's see. That one up there. That right there is by my friend Dave, Mr. Miracle Comics. He likes to draw community members and do. So he drew my daughters, and he drew me, and he sent them to us. And that's me as the greatest American hero, which is some people may not remember that TV show, but it was an early superhero TV show. Very funny. And then the one under it, the one right there is one of my students. He drew that for me at the end of a school year. So I try to like put those kind of things in the background if I can.
That is cool. Be safe, Eric. Be safe, brother.
Yeah. Try to just listen.
Yeah.
I know it's hard because I know I want to always like comment. Hey.
That is cool. I love that.
All right, let me. I had spilled a couple of things while I was doing here. Okay, so that's Mutants. I promise we won't do any more mutant stuff because I could do that for the entire show, but I'll vary it up a little bit.
All right.
I tried to organize things by runs, like runs that I really love, stories that I really love, and characters that I really love. So I kind of just went through and pulled little pieces of a lot of different things. So let's talk about the blind superhero Daredevil, because I will say I know that when you had Brandon on, he was talking about this run, the Miller run on Daredevil, which is phenomenal. And no matter how you feel about Frank Miller, and I have definitely some thoughts on the guy, he just revolutionized a couple of characters like Batman and Daredevil to really put a different look and stamp on them. And totally. I think the characters in those universes are better for it.
Dude, that's beautiful right there.
So this run, and then the books that I always remembered when I'd go to my LCS, I would see these books on the walls all the time. Those amazing Klaus Janson inked covers with the Punisher were just like, yes. So when I went to Baltimore Comic-Con to see him, and I knew he was there, I brought these two covers along because I was like, I need to talk to the guy and I want to get these signed because that's just like, it's iconic stuff for me. For those that don't know, the run was so popular that they started having Millard make issues twice a month. So a lot like Detective Comics is now. They were publishing 2 issues a month, but the difference is Miller was writing and drawing almost all the issues, and that's a ton of work. Two Marvel comics every month. So what he had to do was really just rough sketch everything out, and then Klaus Janson, the inker, was basically finishing the drawings and doing the inkings for every page. So I think he often gets overlooked because of somebody like Frank Miller casting a big shadow, but Klaus Janson is amazing and definitely deserves a ton of respect for that run. He did work with Frank Miller on Batman titles. He's worked with Frank Miller on a ton of stuff, and I don't think he doesn't get the same credit that Miller gets.
I was jealous that you were able to meet him, because he was actually going to be here at Torpedo I was 2 years before the COVID started, and he got sick.
Oh no,
so he couldn't make it. So I was kind of sad. I wanted to meet him. Like, I'm all, dude, there were 2 peas in a pod when it came to those classic covers and everything.
I know. And I think it's a lot like Perez and Wolfman. I think there are some really great partners when it came to art and story that I would put Janson and Miller right up there.
Yeah, totally. I agree. Dang.
Yeah, Austin is that's a great one, Wong. I totally agree. And so that's probably the peak of Daredevil for me, but right next to it for me is the Brian Michael Bendis run, and I am a big fan of this storyline. I should say it's several storylines. I have all the collected editions, the trades. Okay. I think the covers are wild. Here's Daredevil as the Kingpin sitting on the throne. Of course, it's super popular with all the amazing. There's Quesada covers. There's David Mack covers. I know with the Mack storyline, the Mack stuff was right before the Bendis stuff, and so they kind of bleed into one another. So all the Echo storyline that kind of continued on into Bendis's stuff. Obviously, that stuff I know is still really popular.
I love those covers.
I loved the stories too. I think it's just a shame that it's not as I don't know. It feels like it's always. I feel like Bendis gets like third in line with all the great storylines that are for Daredevil out there. But for me, it's almost my favorite. It might end up being my all-time favorite. Like, because Miller, as much as I love Miller, I give more respect just for like reinventing the wheel. Bendis hits the ball a lot farther for me. Like the stories have a bigger impact for me, and the bravery to out Daredevil to the world, so everybody knows that it's Matt Murdock, then to send him to jail and then turn to Ed Brubaker and be like, here's the keys, I gotta go.
Nice.
It's such a ballsy move.
You just convinced me to read it all because I stopped. I read some of the Miller, then I went into the because of the Matt covers. I did a lot of cover buys, which I'm not ashamed to say. Those catch me.
I mean, do it. The artwork is so stunning. How do you not?
Yeah, I love Mac. So I stopped right there. But then again, I did stop collecting comics for at least 5 years. So those were like one of the years, well, actually 8 years. So one of those years are right there that I stopped collecting. But I'm going to get a trade and read it because
I think if you have the Marvel app, anybody that has the Marvel app, it's a great way to read through that era because you can start it. Issue 1 is part of the Mac run, and you read through the Mac stuff, which is like 12 issues, I think, and then Bendis takes over somewhere in there and just runs. And Born Again, if it was just Born Again, then yeah, that would be fact, and that's kind of what is his best stuff for sure. Mazzucchelli, also a god, absolutely amazing. But for some the Bendis stuff, I think he does a great job of connecting a lot of fun dots, including having like I think it's great to see Daredevil beat Kingpin and then take over and be the Kingpin of New York and go through that, and then get outed. Like there's a great cover where it's like the newspaper and it's Matt Murdock's face and somebody's pencil drawn in red the Daredevil logo and the horns. And then have to go to trial and then go to jail. And then he just stopped writing. He's like, I'm done. And Ed Brubaker came in to get him out of jail.
Oh, nice.
So the Brubaker run followed that. And you get to see how life in jail went for Matt and then how he got out. And then the Mark Waid run finishes and ends that. It's an epic, like 9 collected editions. It's just an epic run. But again, great cover work. I just so much fun. And get his bullseye, the cards there.
That's amazing.
It's a great series. And you even got Typhoid Mary looking all saucy there.
Right, I got the sexy pose right there. Check it out.
So I'm very. It's the run that got me back into Daredevil because really all I'd ever read was Miller, and then I picked up. Somebody said, "Oh, you got to read the Brubaker run." But you got to read the Bendis run first to see how he gets in jail. And so I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And then I just absolutely was over the moon about it. Nice.
Well, you convinced me. Now I'm going to go on the Marvel Limited and read it. No, that's cool, dude. I have to.
Yeah. I mean, for a Daredevil fan, for me, it's Miller, then Bendis right under it. And then Brubaker and Waid go under that. And then Zdarsky could end up taking the lead in a lot of this stuff, depending on how his run ends. I think he's just been phenomenal.
I've been actually catching up on that one, so
it's a little weird that he's like rebooting already. Like he's only done like whatever 30 something issues, and he's already like, I need a new number 1. Let's start over.
I don't like that.
So annoying.
Yeah, very annoying. I love runs to go 300, 400. I don't like the reboots.
And it's not like there's a new creative team coming in. It's still Zdarsky and Cicchetto.
Yeah.
So, and it just seemed funny that they would start at a number 1 this summer. They're going back to number 1. Apparently, Devil's Reign is having a huge impact on Matt, and now he's got to go back to number 1.
That's a big no for me. I'll get it anyways. I'm jumping back on the Daredevil line.
I mean, it's easily one of the most consistent characters at Marvel.
So, if you had to choose one, who's your favorite character besides I'm gonna go with Phoenix is one of your favorite X-Men, right?
She is. I mean, it's probably gonna be Storm number 1. I think there's just a ton to like about her and her. So all the years that she's been a Marvel character, whether it's X-Men stuff or Black Panther stuff, I think there's been some really great Storm plot lines, and I think she's gotten some of the best X lines around. I also think that her character has continued to evolve into this leader goddess character, and I think that it's been interesting to see that evolution. So Storm would probably eke out a win over Daredevil, but Daredevil would be second.
Oh, nice. I could dig those two for sure.
They're very entertaining characters who have been incredibly consistent, which is a harder thing in comics to be, is consistent,
Yeah, I totally agree. Oh, aggressively. What's up, brother?
Yeah. It's for, I think it, I think it is for Daredevil, why he's so consistent a character for reading is because Marvel is less restrictive about the character. And so they give creators more freedom when it comes to writing that title than, say, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They're very strict about what you can and can't do with Spider-Man. And when somebody takes over Daredevil, Zdarsky was like, they just said, sure, go ahead and do whatever you want.
Yep.
Like, the only rules were he wanted to use Spider-Man, and they were like, no, you can't put Spider-Man in your Daredevil comic. What are you talking about? And he had to convince them and actually like write it out and like show them the script of what he wanted Spidey to do in his arc. Because Spidey shows up, I think now, and he's been in about 4 issues of that Daredevil run. But every time he had to like really break it down and be like, come on, let me play with this toy. And they were so strict about it. It's so funny.
Their flagship right there. That's why.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That happens
to X-Men and the Swamp Thing. I mean, yeah. I would say X-Men, but X-Men had the benefit of having one guy for so long writing it, at the beginning, right? I would say at the beginning of the new team versus other comics where they're like, every couple of years, they rotate a new writer in or a new artist every few months,
Oh, yeah, totally agree. What's that? Oh, Travis, right. Sorry.
What's up, TM? Station,
brother. So I remember we talked earlier in the green room that you have other things, which Legos, I've seen you show your posting, so I know you're a big Lego fan. Which I find cool because my wife, I'm going to show her this video and I have her see what you have. And I'll be like, this is you. Which is cool.
It's a lot of fun. And it's like, as both the kid in me loves those kind of the creativity and the building and all that stuff. And the teacher in me loves it as like an engineering toy. I've used it in every elementary school class I've taught in. I've used Legos in one way or another. I think they're incredibly useful for learning how to read directions and follow instructions and how to design and build. Like there's a ton in there to value.
Plus they're fun.
All right. So you want to see some stuff? Is that what you're saying?
No, I know you're going to show that later, but when you showed it to me, I was a little kid, but
yeah, I mean, right? It brings out the kid in all of us. When you go, like, when I go to like my nephew's birthdays and stuff, I don't talk to the adults. I can do that anytime.
Yeah,
I go like, hey, you got any good Legos? What do you got? What do you got? Go back in their room. I'm playing with the Legos. I'm building stuff. I'm the guy who, when everybody else is at the barbecue, hanging out, talking, having a beer, I'm the one running through with the laser tag, zapping the kids and chasing them down the corner. That's this guy.
Yeah, usually all of my wife's friends are, hey, do I go play with the Legos? I'm like, yeah, let's go. So my wife knows I entertain the kids, but I'm having fun. It's not, I'm not doing them a favor.
Totally. I would tell my students all the time that like I went into the teaching gig so I wouldn't have to hang out with adults. Like adults suck.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned is like I don't want to be one of those.
Yeah. I tell everybody I'm still 12.
Right?
I'll grow up one day. I don't know if I will.
I mean, I legitimately play with Legos and collect comic books. So I've tried my best to avoid growing up.
No. Why do you think I go to Disneyland so much? See, we are alike. I like it.
We are absolutely. It's called Arrested Development.
What else you got, brother? Let's see what else you have.
If you want to talk, movies a little bit. So my other big love is movies. I went to film school and I was obsessed with movie making and movie writing, and so I tend to have some fun collected editions. So here's one that I love. So this one looks like a file. It's even got like a paper clip on the side of it right there. And, sorry, I got excited. I'm okay. It's all right. You pull it out and it's like a dossier.
Oh, cool.
And you open it up and it tells you about what happened to somebody. It's got little instructions. And then the discs are on the inside. They've got like files. So this is the movie Memento. If you haven't seen this movie,
that's cool.
It's a phenomenal movie.
Yes.
It's from Christopher Nolan, who's very popular for the Batman movies. And this is basically Leonard Shelby, the main character played by Guy Pearce. This is his like dossier on what happened to his wife and how she died. And there's information on what happened to him, stuff he's scratched out, information he doesn't want people to know. So yeah, this is the awesome DVD box set or whatever that I got for the movie. It's got a ton of bonus extras, a ton of little things in here, but the whole this would either like make you obsessive like me or frustrate you if you were not. When you put the disc in, it opens like a psychological test where you can like pick options and click on what you think of things. If you most every answer you give takes you to the main menu and you can click play and watch the movie. And the movie is kind of told out of order, right? If you guys don't know, like the movie is played backwards in some ways because the character has mental health issues because of trauma to his head and he can't make new memories. So he doesn't understand where he just was. So the story goes backwards because we don't know where he came from. We know how it ends. We don't know how he got there, right? If you click the right things in the psychological test in the right order, you can watch the movie in chronological order.
Oh,
it's buck wild. And I had to actually like print the instructions. So I've got it here. If I ever want to watch the movie in order, I know what to click and in what order. It's also got like all the bonus features. It explains. It's like super legitimately complicated to pull it off. So I have seen the movie in chronological order, which is still really entertaining. And I had no problem with it. But of course, the movie was designed to be out of order. But so if you're a Memento fan or a Christopher Nolan fan, I am a mega both fan.
Yeah,
this was
I love that movie.
Awesome set. Do you think he did it or his wife did it?
Well, that's a question.
There's a lot of interesting theories about this, and I legitimately think that he was the victim of a crime, but he has now become a serial killer, and that he is basically just going around killing people to make himself feel better because all he can feel is what the emotions of that trauma. It's so raw because he can't ever heal. He can't ever psychologically or emotionally heal because you need time to do that, and he doesn't have it. So for me, it's like an ultimate serial killer movie because you can like see how somebody would become that kind of a killer through that trauma that he went through. So it's one of my favorite movies. I love Memento.
I'm gonna have to hit you up for that. I have to see it in like straight order. That's
it's cool. I'm sure you can find it on eBay or on Amazon that they might sell it this way. I know they have the single disc version, but this is I don't think it's Criterion. I think it was like the special edition DVD for that.
Nice. That's
big
sick.
fan. Yeah.
I love that.
I recently upgraded my set of these, and because this is for TM because he and I geeked a bunch when I was on his channel about Star Trek. So I recently upgraded my DVDs of all the movies to the Blu-ray editions, and they give you a character's face on each one. So these are the original films. I'm a Trekkie. I love a good Star Trek movie, and the original series, of course, has a great place in my heart. And the Next Generation, I continued watching Star. I'm a big Trekkie, and I recently upgraded to get these because the movies are getting old, and you know, I want to see them as crisp as can be on that HD television. You know, you want it to look nice.
I have those on digital, so I do the Apple thing. So I am a Trekkie too, but I'm a next gen. I'm gonna admit I'm a next gen lover.
Sure.
But I do respect the beginning, which had the whole thing. I like Spock, so I do like the beginning, and I just, when you get that age and you're all, he's gonna die. He's gonna die. So it was kind of different when you get the next gen. It was a little bit more difficult, but I love Star Trek, dude.
Well, I think the other benefit of next gen is they had genuinely better writers and production quality. So it made an easier viewing experience because the special effects were so much better. Just in that, few decades, the quality of writing and acting was superior on every level. So I get it. Patrick Stewart is a better actor than William Shatner. Like, there's nobody that should argue that. But for me, what it was great about it was those actors on the original series were so perfectly fit to their parts.
Yes.
Right. Nimoy was this great logic brain to the like emotional chaos that was Shatner and Bones. Really, Bones and Shatner were the two examples of like red-blooded American male. Right. It was always like thinking with they were quick thinking. They were great under pressure, but they were also like looking at all the ladies all the time. They were very rash and prone to anger issues and making quick decisions. And then wonderfully, like, opposing to them was Spock, Spock had this great way of distilling everything down to this basic science elements. So I loved that series. And even though it's totally cheesy dated, it's amazing.
Yeah, totally. I agree. I would watch it all the time because my brother-in-law was a big Trekkie fan, and that's how I got into Star Trek. And I have nothing bad to say. It's a great franchise. I love that franchise.
Yeah, and as a super great concept,
Yes.
Pure Gene Roddenberry's concept was so pure in that, like, that we could overcome our worst qualities as humans for the sake of science and the sake of each other, and expand out into the universe as scientists and not as colonizers. I think that was a wonderful perspective on the potential that the human race has.
I love that box set, brother. That's a good one to have. That's for you, Travis.
There you go, TM. Yeah, I made sure I pulled that, TM, because I think it was after our show. I was like, I need to upgrade these movies a little bit. So I went and snagged the box set. I think it was right after Travis and I had nerded out on science fiction, because I can nerd on science fiction a lot.
I must start watching Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, have you seen the new series?
No.
Oh my God. I almost pulled all those because I got all those box sets. I got all those discs. That series is binge worthy. So good.
Yeah, I have it. I'm gonna watch it. I actually downloaded some of it, so I'm gonna
it's great and way more dramatic than you can imagine it being, because you're like, it's that. I remember the old Cylons with the guys in the plastic silver suits. Like, I know that stuff. And they're like, no. that we're gonna put you through the ringer. Emotionally powerful. Yeah, just great series.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah, you'll love it. Now, I will say though that they require you to watch, like, there's like a movie that goes before episode 1, and the movie's like 4 hours long or something. They basically made a mini series as like a premiere to get the show going.
Oh, nice.
And the miniseries explains why our heroes are on the run, what happened to their planet. Because the concept of the original show and the series is that humans have lost their home and they're traveling through space trying to find a new home, and they're being chased and hunted by the robots, the Cylons.
Oh, sweet.
And the miniseries for the new show gave you what happened to human civilization, why are they on the run, who is left, what's going on. And then the regular series just put you right in their seat of like, here you go, we're on the run now, like deal with it.
Oh, nice. Dang, that's 2 things I need to do. Thanks, John. Oh, that sounds good. I like that. Oh, man.
Cosine new BSG. I mean, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's cool. I'm gonna have to binge all that.
Sorry, guys. Here's
Stanley.
There's Stan. He's got his web shooters going. Woo woo woo.
So I got this. A little about that. Please explain.
Yeah. So the bearded comic bro posted something this Christmas about how he was done with Elf on the Shelf at his house. He was exhausted by it, and he wanted Stan Lee in his Christmas tree instead. So Stan Lee in a tree became this thing, and he even set up an Instagram for it called Stan Lee in a Tree on Instagram, right? And so I immediately went and found the same one on eBay and bought it because I wanted the red vest for Christmassy. And so he's been hanging out. He's been in a lot of my videos, just sort of sitting in the background. But yeah, here he is, Stan Lee in a tree.
That is cool.
Not really in a tree right now, next to a slab.
Yes, Stan Lee by a slab.
Stan Lee by the X-Men. There you go.
That's cool.
Is that old man Gilligan? No. I mean, kind of. All right, one more crazy box set, which has an incredible story behind it.
Oh, wow.
I am way into Lost, and I will not apologize for the ending. I like it just fine. I'm fine with the entire thing. So this was a gift, this whole box set. And it was a gift from one of the creators of Lost, Damon Lindelof.
Oh, wow.
So when my youngest daughter, Charlie, was born, a few like days after her birth and we were home, I took Kate to the park because we needed to get out of the house. It was hard to sleep. I lost points. I mean, I get it. Everybody can. Everybody gets it. Deal with it. Deal with it. I'm exhausted because new baby in the house. I'm barely sleeping. And I'm just sort of like leaning up against a bench, kind of like half asleep while Kate plays with this boy. And she's going up and down this slide and running around. And the boy's parents are like sending them on little missions like, hey, go find a pink flower. And they would go off and play. And Kate was like 3. And this little boy was the same age. And I was like, yeah, they're having fun. And then the parents come over to talk to me. And it's Damon Lindelof, the creator of Lost.
Oh, wow.
And he's walking over with his wife, Heidi, who's really, really nice. And I'm like, holy crap. I'm a huge fan. I ran a blog for this show. I was like hosting like events for Lost. I was super, super into it. And here he is walking up to me. And the best part about it is I've got a hoodie on. It's zipped up. But under the hoodie is a Lost themed t-shirt.
Nice.
It's the handicapped parking logo. But the guy's getting up out of the wheelchair and running out. And it says, don't tell me what I can't do. So he walks up to me and I'm like, I know who you are. He's like, hi, I'm Damon. I'm like, I know who you are. And I unzip my shirt. I'm like, I swear I'm not a stalker. I'm a big fan. And he's like, oh, that's a great shirt. I've never seen that one before. Hilarious. And then he goes off to play with the girl, with my girl and his son. And I talked to his wife for like an hour. We were just talking about schools in the area. And I was like, oh, I'm a teacher and blah, blah, blah. And I've lived here most of my life. We were just talking. And then I go home and I'm like running home to call everybody I know. I'm like, oh my God, guys, I just met Damon Lindelof. About a month goes by and I'm not a Twitter guy. I've never been on Twitter, but my brother messages me. He's like, dude, you need to get on Twitter because Damon Lindelof is tweeting about you. So I get on Twitter and Damon Lindelof's like, hey, John Jameson from Southern California, are you on Twitter? And I set up my Twitter account. I like start messaging him and he's like, I just wanted to send you a box set of the show. You were super nice. My wife wanted to make sure we said thank you. And I said, yeah, I would love it. And I gave him my address and he sent it. This arrived within a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a cool story.
It was crazy.
Nice.
And not only that, it is an epic cool box set. So it comes in this like foot of the statue box, which is amazing.
Yeah.
The lid comes off and it's got a map of the island on the back side
cool.
here. And then the discs are in the center here. Whoa, get myself caught here. Whoa. Can I get it all out carefully? They're in these giant slip sleeves. For each of the seasons are all in here. And then there's a little like guide to the episode so you can know what's going on there. And then there's the board game from the show that the man in black and his brother always play with the white pieces and the black pieces. There's a game board where you can actually play the game, and they even include the silly wooden dice that they use.
Yeah,
that they roll with.
That is amazing.
It's crazy, and it comes with this Dharma Initiative blacklight. If you use it, you can study the map, and there's like things hidden in the blacklight. You can find things on the map. They're like, oh, all the Dharma stations are located. It's ridiculous.
That's cool.
And there's some letters like written from the pirate ship. There's an Ankh little show.
Wow.
This box set is wild. My favorite part, and I've done it so many times, it's really not going to do much on it, is that if you turn this, come on, John, muscle power. Oh, there it is. I got it going. This actually like pivots off. I'm trying to be careful with it because I've done it so many times. It's like, oh, you really shouldn't do this anymore. You're only supposed to do it once or twice. Yeah. So this comes off. And there's a hidden disc.
Oh, that's cool.
There's a hidden disc underneath that's like all these fun special feature things. And it's designed to look like a CD-ROM. Like it's designed to be like a little CD. But there's another hidden disc inside. Who dat? What is up, man?
What's up, who dat? Dang,
so
cool.
It's a really wild, cool box set. And I'm not going to bother putting it back together right now because it would probably take the rest of the show. But
so I don't know if you've seen this. What's your opinion on the ending? Spoilers, okay?
I like it. I do, but I understand why people didn't. And there's things that I don't love about it. But for me, I didn't expect a show to go and like tick off all the questions that I had, but I feel like it answered enough of them. And my favorite things are the questions that you can answer yourself if you study the show closely enough. Like the polar bear thing, I know drove people crazy. But it's there. Like the reason they have the polar bears is layered into the show. They just don't spend the time to explain it to you. So huge nerds of the show. I can explain the polar bear thing if you want a couple of seconds, but like we're almost at an hour.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, 51 minutes. I know.
Nice.
The polar bears were designed to move the island in time because there's this little frozen wheel that can shift the island in place in time wherever it is. Whenever you do that, you have to leave the island. You get teleported to the Tunisian desert. And so the wheel can only be operated by people that aren't going to stay on the island. So they are training the polar bears to do it, which is why we find a polar bear's carcass and with a Dharma collar in the middle of the desert later in the show. And they've got all the little buttons in their polar bear cages because they're training the polar bears to man and operate the lever for the island so that nobody living on the island has to actually leave. It's crazy. And it's super cold down there. So they need an animal that could survive those temperatures. Really cool. If you watch and study the show, there's answers to almost everything, but you really got to, you got to get in there. It's like flossing.
There you go, Juan.
So there's a lot. But on my channel, I spent quite a few years doing these like rewatch season by season shows. I had a ton of community members join me over the years. Bueller did a bunch of them. And it was basically just like we would watch a few episodes, we'd talk about them, and it made this incredible playlist of like you could rewatch the show and have a ton of great debates and discussions about all the little minutia. So that you can go back and watch those again. A lot of fun.
Nice. But that's an amazing box set. How am I gonna say it? I was gonna say badass. Yeah, it is badass, dude. That's a badass box set. I want to say it.
And it's got a ton of memories now too, because of how I got it. Because I never would have bought it for myself, but like that's an amazing gift.
Yeah, even the story, it was more amazing than the gift. I love that. That was cool.
Absolutely.
That's so badass.
All right. Sorry, I gotta put things away here. I realize I'm making a mess. I don't know. Where else do you want to go next? Oh, wow. I can. This is a book that not a ton of people have in their collections, but this is for TM as well, I guess, because I know he's a 90s guy like me and Image guy like me. But for me, Savage Dragon is one of my all-time favorite characters. And most people don't know, but his first appearances are almost impossible to find because they were self-published, meaning he went and printed them himself, like TMNT #1. And they're really, really hard to find. And they're absolutely beat to heck.
Uh-huh.
And they are in these two comics called Graphic Fantasy. And it's just really impossible to find them at all. They're all like ghosts because he didn't print that money and he was just trying to get his work out there. Then later he joined up with the Megaton crew and they published this through, it might have been Megaton Publishing, I think. Megaton was the publisher. And he was allowed to throw the character in a couple of issues of Megaton, but he couldn't call him the Dragon or Paul Dragon, which was the character originally. So he named him the Savage Dragon here. These actually got a few more issues published, not a ton, but a few more. And these you can occasionally find on eBay, somewhat rarely. This was 1986. This helped him kind of land his gig at Marvel, where he did some amazing Spider-Man stuff. He did some regular Spider-Man stuff. And then eventually he took the character and made him the full-on Savage Dragon and changed everything about him. He was never Paul Dragon anymore, which was those early issues. He had erased his full memory, started him as a blank slate, just called him Dragon. So this book I've hunted for a while. It's got an awesome back cover too, very 80s and early 90s maybe esque. But my LC, I've been looking for these for a while because I've never seen them in the wild. But I went through my LCS one day and they had one of them on the shelf, and I was like, "No way, do you have this?" He's like, "Not only that, I got 3," and I bought all 3. And I got the nicest one pressed and cleaned, and obviously got a great grade on that. And then I sent one off to my buddy, I Got Issues, Chris, who is a big Savage Dragon fan, because he's like, I've never seen one of those before. I was like, have that? So I sent one off to him, and I still have a raw copy floating around somewhere if I want to read it, but he's not in it a ton. Yeah. Same with those graphic fantasies. By the way, you can read those graphic fantasies now because Image did reprints of them or facsimiles of them.
Yes.
And they're horrible. They're awful. They're not worth reading, but I had to own them just to say I have those facsimiles. They're not worth it.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat as you with the 90s stuff again. I got the bug, and I'm getting the gold versions.
Nice.
Like I have the Wildcats #1 gold version. Two of them. One's graded and one's signed by Jim Lee. I just recently picked up Brigade. I just found I bought it on eBay. I usually don't buy eBay, but then I found the Gen 13 puzzle one.
Oh, nice.
So I have the newsstand pit. I'm trying to find the ash cans, but that's the rabbit hole.
Finding newsstands in that era are a little bit challenging to get, so that's nice.
So that's what I'm doing. When I saw that, I was like, "Oh,
yeah." I mean, it's a book that I think I had not even really heard of until I found this community, and I was figuring I was starting to look at characters I loved and what books could I look for them. And I was like, I love Savage Dragon, and I've got all the 90s stuff that are like way overproduced. There's a million Savage Dragon #1s. But I was like, I knew he had done previous work. So I started looking at Larson's earlier self-published and then indie published stuff and found that Megaton Man book. And I was like, I got to keep my eye out for this. And then somehow my LCS had 3 of these things. And then he's like, no, they don't really sell. He's like, no, nobody knows what it is. I'm like, I know what it is. Give me all of them.
That's cool, dude. Like too many people don't do that. Like nobody cares about the golds, which I'm happy because I don't have to pay top dollar. I paid $10 for the #1 gold Brigade. I was like, I'll take it. And
exactly.
Then he's all, well, I have a newsstand Spawn. I have 2 now.
There you go.
I'm happy. Anything newsstand, I'll take because I know it's lower print than the regular one, and I do have those because everybody and their mother bought those. Man, there's like over 1 million, like 7 million copies, 4 million copies of that stuff.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's an amazing book, though. I was
right there. I've never seen anybody else post one on their channel or on their Instagram, much less a 9.8. I've just never seen it.
Yeah.
So I was
like, that's the only one I've seen. That's amazing.
I was so excited to see it come back at 9.8. I was like, that was the highlight of that unboxing. I was like, heck yeah.
That is cool. Oh, nice shirt, by the way. I love that shirt.
So this is from my buddy's Teespring, White Whale Comics, and he always jokes that he's the anti-Joy equation. So it's Dark Side with my buddy's beard, and then So I thought it was fun. Cool. It's a fun cover shirt.
That's sick. What are we going into next? Because you're going to try to beat Morbius.
I mean, legit. It's happening. I'm just telling you right now. It's legit happening. Let's talk about Mike Zeck for a little bit. I love Mike Zeck as just an absolute artist of my childhood. So I got to meet him at Baltimore, and I got him to sign this book.
Sick.
It's probably my favorite Doom cover of all time.
Yeah.
I grew up on Secret Wars, so I've got the full run in Raw, and so I pulled my copy from my original run when I was a kid and got it signed. Absolutely, yes, just yes all day. Mm-hmm. I know Secret Wars as a series, it doesn't read great under 2022 eyes. It's just, it's a little bit scattered, but for me, it's a Doom story, and that's where it succeeds the best for me. Yeah. The fact that they create this battle world, heroes versus villains, everybody gets involved, and Dr. Doom's like, nah. He doesn't want to fight anybody. In fact, he fights the bad guys more in the beginning than the good guys. He's like, no, I want to kill the god. Can we? So he's like flipping the script on the Beyonder. He's like, I don't want to fight the other good guys or bad guys. Like, I want to kill God. Can we kill God? Let's do that. And then he comes up with this elaborate plan and learns from Galactus how he can achieve his goal. It's an amazing Doom. As a Doom story, it's phenomenal.
Yes.
But
so got his autograph. I'm waiting to see him one more time.
Yeah. So I got it. My goal originally was to try to get all of them in a 9.8, but I've only gotten 2 so far. Those were the 2 that I was like, okay, I'll start with those. And I thought, oh, the other ones are all so cheap. They're all less than $100. I'll get them. And then everybody started like getting popular on some of the first appearances for who's, I guess that one of the ladies is going to be in She-Hulk or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Then it started blowing up.
Yeah.
And then now Carpenter is supposed to be
Spider-Woman.
Yes. So that's blowing up now. That book is going up.
Thanks, Perry. Yeah, and so I was gonna try to collect them all. I'm still my eBay watch list still notifies me when a 9.8 of any of the issues pop. But I'm always like, God, they're going for so much more than I paid. I legitimately paid cheaper for that issue 8 9.8 than some of the other ones are going for right now.
Wow.
Like, I've been trying to get this Doom cover in a 9.8 for a while, but it is stupid expensive. I'm like, why did that book become expensive all of a sudden? Because it's a great cover. It's a great cover.
It's an amazing cover. Anything Doom right now is blowing up.
Right.
So that's hurting it too.
I think, yeah. So if we're on Mike Zeck, the other book I had with Mike Zeck. Oops, sorry. You all right?
Oh, you just blew my mind right there. I'm like, oh.
This is the other one I had to get him to sign. My set of the Kraven's Last Hunt. I had to pull one book from that I've had since I was a kid and get him to sign this. And of course, it was going to be the grave, climbing out of the grave scene. Just
you're hitting my jam right here. That's why. If I do that, that means you hit my jam. I'm getting excited. I get excited.
His covers are just so iconic and just absolutely works of art. So I knew I couldn't pack too many things to go all the way to Baltimore with me, but those 2 Klaus Janson books and these 2 Mike Zeck books were like, yes, I'm going to get those signed. But just a great series. If you haven't read the Kraven's Last Hunt, you're missing out on probably the greatest Spider-Man story ever. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like right up there.
It's up
no
there.
Matter.
Yes.
Anybody makes a list of great Spider-Man stories, it's on the list,
For sure. Oh my God. I love that cover. Every time you show somebody shows that cover, I get goosebumps. I love that.
I mean,
cover.
why? Yeah, because I think it's just because it broke a lot of rules for what you could do with a story. To have a villain commit suicide, like what a huge twist. And then the artwork being just top tier.
Yes. You have amazing books. See?
Well, I am in the amazing books right now. If you want to continue on,
of course.
So
you're doing this for an hour. Nice.
I said runs. I like a good run, and my favorite Amazing Spider-Man run starts right here. So this is issue 121 with technically the death of Gwen Stacy at the end here. But this series of issues from 120, right around 120, which has a great battle with the Hulk.
Yes.
And then you've got 122, which is the death of Green Goblin. Just
classic.
I remember reading I had a trade just of these 2 issues as a kid, and I read that thing till it fell apart. So good.
Yeah. Great books.
And then look at this amazing, right? The next issue. Come on, look at Luke Cage socking out Spidey. I love it.
The perspective right there, the colors is beautiful.
He says, "Hang it up, web slinger. Maybe you make those strap hanging types shiver in their boots, but you're just another job to Luke Cage, hero for hire."
That's sick.
So good. And then for those that don't know, my name is John Jameson, and this is the first appearance of John Jameson. There he is. That's John Jameson right there. And that's apparently my dad with a Hitler staff.
Fun fact, guys.
Yeah. So I've been looking, at some point I want to get this in a very high grade, but I've got this mid-grade copy for now that's good enough for a placeholder. But then the next issue, 125, I have a beautiful copy, which is like his second appearance in Origin.
Yeah.
That's at CGC right now, getting slabbed. Whatever it comes back as will probably be my target for this book. I'll try to get a pair to go together.
Nice.
But I love this era. And then of course it goes all the way to the Grail 129, first appearance of Punisher. I do not have that book. I will not own that book.
I got that in a trade.
Ooh,
I'm obsessed with getting 1974 books because I was born in 74.
there you go.
That's why I have a Hulk 180, 182. I have a 129 Amazing Spider-Man. I'm getting anything 74.
Nice.
I have a Sabretooth. So
that was a good year.
Yes. I was like, I got to get my birth year. So
the Hulk, I have my 180 getting graded along with that one. The 125 ASM and the Hulk 180 are both getting graded right now.
Sick.
So yeah, that era of Spider-Man where it was like Romita Sr. was still doing some covers. I mean, I love Romita Sr.
I do too.
Absolutely amazing. So that's one of my favorite, like 10 issues of any comic is that run on ASM is so good.
So good right there. So good.
And I think there's only a few times where the 10 issues were that solid. And another one would be these issues of Fantastic Four.
Those are amazing. Look at those.
Because you're going from, and I don't have the big ones in this run, but you're going from the Inhumans all the way through Galactus and Silver Surfer. You have some incredible stories, including the Black Panther's first appearance as well. I don't have that one. I have the second appearance here.
That's still beautiful.
But what a great era of comic. Oops, I'll save that one for later.
Yeah, you can say Aquaman. I love Aquaman.
I'm not a big Aquaman fan, but I am a big fan of that book. So
Chucks is loving it.
that 10 issue run on Fantastic Four also kind of like partners for me with that 10 issues of Amazing Spider-Man as far as just iconic, a ton of great first appearances that all meant a bunch to me. And in a 10 issue span where people were just nailing it, people were just writing great stories. You know,
you're getting those books right there. It's like, oh, there's a couple of books I still need those. I'm missing them. I'm hunting for those. I'm always keeping them in the back of my head just to try to find them.
I'm going to get a first Black Panther book at some point, but that book is very, very expensive. But I've got the books on either side, just like you're saying, 180 and 182. You need the 181. I get it. For me, it's the FF52 is ahead of the Hulk 181 because I'm happier with the Hulk 180, to be honest.
Yeah, I was happy when I had that, and actually, I need to crack it and get it pressed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's showing it's a 7. It's not a 7. That's like an 8.5 easy. I need to crack it and get it pressed and just keep it right there. And I love that book. So it's one of the grails I wanted in my collection.
Sure.
Especially when I went down that trip. But that Black Panther, yeah, it's up there. Dude, that's a classic.
That's such a great book. And a great first appearance cover, too. Because sometimes you get those first appearances when nobody is on the cover and you're like, it's good. I just wish they were on the cover.
Yes. If you had them in the cover, that makes it even better.
Totally.
Oh my God. I'm getting excited here. Oh.
Well, you mentioned the Aquaman, so I got a set. I am not an Aquaman fan, but I am a huge fan of artist Nick Cardy. And for people that don't know, he is a Silver Age artist who did some incredibly great, detailed, sort of rich covers. And when I started hearing about his artwork, I started keeping an eye out for it because I the more I saw, the more I was like, this guy is unbelievable. And then my buddy Big Will, who has an auction, by the way, in about 3 hours that I'm supposed to be on with him because I'm supposed to be running the chat for him. But it's a saucy auction. It's like nude comics and stuff. Like he was like, I need somebody just to like keep people from going crazy. I'm like, yeah, I got you. He auctioned off a set of these Aquaman covers, and here's one of them, masterpieces. Sorry for the glare. I got natural light.
You're good.
And these are obviously in Mylars because they're such old pieces. But you look at all the color work and all the details, really just stunning. So he was auctioning these off, and I had told him in advance, dude, I'm going to bid on these. This is the only thing I want from your auction. I'm going to be all crazy with it. He told Simon R. And you don't tell Simon R. that stuff. Simon R. He started bidding against me. I was like, damn you, Simon R. Simon R. wins, and he snipes me good. He sniped me like I was, a deer. walking through the meadow. He sniped me. And come to find out, he just was buying them for me as an A-OK. So he had them shipped to me, but he paid for them. And then he said, it's not sniping if it's an A-OK. It was the note that he had Big Will put in them. So these are all Nick Cardy pieces. Really just a gorgeous talent. Unbelievable. And I'm saving the best, two of the best ones here for last. Like,
I love that.
What like the lighting.
Yes.
The lighting work on these is just so phenomenal. And I've only read a couple of them, but this one is
right there. Oh my God.
This is the one.
Yes.
So this is the second appearance of Black Manta.
Yes.
And this is, I think, a better cover than the first appearance cover, but still, I mean, they're both beautiful. So this is issue 42, I believe. Yeah, 42. And the use of the lighting on the Aquaman down below, just stunning.
What's up, Zen? That's amazing cover.
So I pull these out every so often because they're absolute cover buys. Like, that's why I bought them, and I'm not ashamed of it because Nick Cardy is probably one of the, I mean, along with Kirby, probably some of the greatest Silver Age artists ever.
What's up, Chef? Yeah.
Jaguar. What's up?
My friend has those covers. That's why I love those. That's what got me into reading, because I told the story where I didn't like reading when I was a kid.
Sure.
I had trouble reading. And
I think a lot of us did. And then comic books were this bridge. Right.
So that's where I remember those books. That's why I have a little piece of my heart for Aquaman, is because he showed me Aquaman and JLA. So that's why I always have a part for DC. But those are great books, cool. Man. You just get my childhood right there.
Apparently I'm hitting all the right notes.
Yes. You're hitting every note, brother.
So I saved some Stan Lee stuff for a little later. So if you're ready for Kirby and Stan Lee, I got you.
All right, let's do it. I think everybody wants to see this. This will be amazing.
I will say I have one more slab in this set that's at CGC, and it'll go right in the middle. But this is the Avengers Sandwich that I got here.
Yes.
So I'm working on a first 25 issues of the Avengers. Of course, I don't have 1 and 4 because they're stupid expensive.
Yeah.
This number 2 was a gift from Steve Whiting from down in Florida. And I had it reholdered into a brand new case because I just was trying to take good care of it. But absolutely beautiful. Nigel, what's going on, man?
What's up, brother?
But for me, when it comes to Lee and Kirby, the Avengers run beats the FF run for me. And I just absolutely love the artwork in these issues. So there's number 2. Right. I don't have 1, 3, and 4, but then I got 5.
Oh, yeah.
The lava, man.
Oh, yeah. That was amazing.
Such great work. I love the Thor whipping the hammer around. Always looks phenomenal. Some of these are in really nice condition. Like this issue is pretty solid. But the next one, issue 6, looks.
Zen's loving your stuff.
Zen, you arrived right on time. Yeah. So this is the first appearance of Baron Zemo, I believe. Right? Or was it the previous issue? I can't remember now. Yeah, I think it's this one.
Yeah, it should be that one.
Issue 6. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Issue 6. Classic. All the extra writing. Look how much writing is on this cover. He's just like Stanley's like, I need to explain everything.
Just in a little spot. I got it.
This one might be my favorite. It doesn't make a ton of sense, like why he's like his foot is on top of this guy. I don't understand what's going on, but I don't care. Like the perspective of the hammer whipping around, so freaking good. Enchantress down here, love it. The blue, the like light blue to dark blue, I love it. So cool.
They just always popped. Every cover back then just popped.
Oh man. And then, of course, 8.
Okay, yeah, it's another one.
I snagged this way before it was like a thing because I was collecting from this run and I was getting a bunch of stuff. I was avoiding 4 and 1, so it was like 8 was another one to get. My issue 9, which goes right after this, which is the first Wonder Man, is getting slabbed because it was such a nice copy. I was like, I really want it. It's easily a 5, but it could be 7 or an 8 maybe.
Oh, nice.
So we'll see what it ends up getting in the end. But yeah, got to have Kang there. And then 10 looks really sharp. color wise.
Oh yeah,
I think that I could have graded this one, but I was like, I mean, it's not a mega key or anything, so I was like, I didn't want to. It's a lot of money grading some of these, you know.
heck yeah.
And then
That's
we got 11 is my other slab. I bought this at Baltimore. This was my big purchase from Baltimore. Was issue 11, which is the first Spider-Man in the Avengers. Great costume. If you look at Spidey's mask, very different. He's got the look on his mask is very different than what you got from the ASM issues. So this is issue 11 from 1964. I tried to get. I mean, there's definitely some that are low grade. That first Kang is pretty low grade. It probably is like a 2.
But it presents so good though. The way you show it, it presents.
Yeah,
really
it's the spine that's really rough on it, which I don't mind giving you a glimpse of. Let's see here. If we go just by the spine, you can see there's a bunch of. I don't know how focused it is. Like you can see, it's missing a little chunk there.
But it's still beautiful.
But I mean, the colors are really great, and it's just a great book. And of course, it's got the Mylar magic. You know, you put a little, put it in the Mylar, you get the Mylar magic.
It bumps it up like a grade.
Oh, for sure. So here's issue 12.
Oh yes, that's a beautiful
absolutely
one.
Beautiful cover. So I'm doing pretty well on the run as a whole. I just wanted the first 20 or 25 issues. Here is issue 13. Count Nefaria, who is huge in issue 94 of the X-Men. He's the bad guy that they're going against in 94, 95. So
beautiful.
Then we got issue 14. Fighting, what does it look like? Some Nazis or something? I don't know. I don't know what those guys are. I've got a hardcover that collects basically the first 10 issues, I think. So I don't know that I've read issue 14. And then, of course, I had to get issue 16, Avengers Assemble. Mylar is, it's very important. Especially for something that's old as some of these Nick Cardy's or Jack Kirby's. I feel like I wanted something a little more protective for it. And then we got
it's funny, 7. I go to my Kirby's like once a week just to look at them.
I mean, you have to. They're masterpieces, right?
Yes.
I've got some of his Mr. Miracle stuff. I can show later too, which I pulled out because I love that run. There's a great collected edition for the Kirby Mr. Miracle, where it gives you all, what is it, like 25 issues or whatever it is, 26 in one softback. It's
nice.
A great way to read that series. I know that the sword. Everyone's talking about the Swordsman with that Hawkeye show. So there he is. I
love those red covers, those to yellow. Oh my god!
And some floating heads. You gotta have some floating heads, right? And then I only got 2 more left here. I got 20 with. They just yeeted Captain America right off the building there.
Mm-hmm.
But they got Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hawkeye right there.
And then the last one I have is issue 25 because it's a Doom cover. I call this the dance party cover because it looks like everybody's dancing. It looks like Doom is dropping the beat and everybody else is like, "Whoa, dance party!" The poses are funny.
I know it's not good to say, but the Cosby Show when he goes challenge.
It's so good. So yeah, that's the first 25 issues of Avengers that I've collected so far. I'm missing probably 6, but 2 of them are so freaking expensive. I don't know that I'll ever get 1 and 4, but my goal is to try to get 3, and then I've got basically the first. I think it's almost 15. I think I have the first 15 outside of 1, 4, and 3.
Nice.
So I'm doing well on that run.
That's
I've been on that run for a long time. I know that books wax and wane on that list. Sometimes they're hot, sometimes they're not. 8 has been the only one I was like, oh, I got it at the right time. I got that one at the right time. Sorry, that was exciting. I like those books. I don't take them out.
You got me so excited. I finished my water. I never finished this.
I told you, Morbius, I was gone. I'm coming for you, man. Well, we're on Kirby, so let's do Miracle. I do love his Mr. Miracle run, and I've basically just been getting the keys to that run. I haven't gone through to get the actual rest of the run yet. But I got a nice copy of issue number 1 with a fun little date. Somebody wrote the date on there. I love when they did that. I love when they did that back in the day. Let's just write the date on all the comics. Because why? I don't know. It says April already on it. I don't know why you needed to write the date, but why not? And then I got issue 2, Granny Goodness. The like flying daggers at poor Mr. Miracle. Always in some horrible trap. Scott is always in the horrible traps. And then Big Barda is my favorite character in the Mr. Miracle universe. I think Big Barda is just phenomenal character. Yes. So I had to get her first appearance.
That's what I'm looking for.
And then I think underrated is the final issue, which is their wedding.
Yes.
So this is issue 18. So it's an 18-issue collected edition. But my LCS got a small collection in at one point of Mr. Miracle books. And I was like, just hold me 18. I want that final issue with the great dark side.
Not too many people noticed that.
Right?
Yes.
So he's got to come to the wedding. That's his adopted son. He's got to be there, right? It's going to be awkward, but he's still going to show. And then my favorite dark side cover is from the Kirby, the Tom King Miracle Run, which is a phenomenal series. And if anybody has ever thought like, oh, I don't know anything about Mr. Miracle, I've never read it before, just get the Tom King run, read it, because that's going to make you want to go get the Jack Kirby stuff.
Yeah. It
is that good. And then a buddy of mine sent me this.
Sick.
I told him, I need to get a number 1. And he had gotten a bunch of them signed and sent out to CGC. And he's like, I'll give you the 9.4. Like, I don't need the low grade one. So he sent me the low grade one. I was like, dude, thanks, man. I don't have issue number 1. Like, it was such a sweet gift, man.
That is so cool.
So I do think the character of Scott Free is really interesting. His story, if people don't know, like the idea that he was born to Oberon, the rich, like wealthy, awesome king in one portion of the universe, and then had to trade sons with Darkseid. So Darkseid raised Scott Free in the horrible slave pits with Granny Goodness, and then Darkseid's son went to live with Oberon and become his heir. And then only later did both of them find out like what was really going on. And by then Scott Free had learned that he had one real amazing superpower, which was I can escape anything. Like I can escape anything. Yep. So he and Big Barda escaped the slave pits on Apocalypse, made their way to Earth, and were living a happy, free life. And then later, when the truth was revealed, Darkseid comes back to claim his son, and there's been a lot of back and forth between Scott and Darkseid over the years, especially after he took Big Barda away and married her and got her away from evil Granny Goodness.
I just figured something out, John. I need you to do an old school tape and do comics on tapes, and I'm just going to listen to it when I'm driving.
Just read them?
Yes, but in your words. That'll be a cool podcast just to drive with and listen to you talk.
John explains the comics.
Yes.
I used to read Harry Potter chapter by chapter on my YouTube channel. Whenever I was reading a chapter to Charlie from whatever book we were in, I would turn the YouTube on and I would record the chapter of me reading and her asking questions. So you could, and we would put up a couple of Lego Harry Potter sets. So like you might be hearing me talk, but you're looking at like Hermione and you're looking at Ron and they're, so I did the very end of the second Harry Potter, all of the third, and about half of Harry Potter 4. And they're on my YouTube channel. You can just, it's like it's like book on tape. So if you ever were like, I'm doing a really long drive and I've never heard Harry Potter 3, like you could just listen to the entire Harry Potter 3 as read by me.
Nice.
And it's like, it's a playlist. So it just automatically goes to the next video when they're done. It's funny because it's one of the things that gets a lot more repeat views on my channel than anything, just because I'm always showing the pictures so you can see the pictures if you want. But if you just want to listen, you can hear it's chapter by chapter of Harry Potter.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to show my wife that. We're probably going to be listening to you all the time.
we are way obsessed with it around here, but Charlie got impatient with how slowly I was reading. So then she just took the book one time and just read all of 4, 5, 6, and 7. And she was done. And I was like, okay, but like we were kind of in the middle of it. Our audience kind of, so people every once in a while message me. They're like, are you going to ever get back to finishing those? I was like, sorry. Charlie was done. So we were done. That's what happens when you have kids. Sometimes they just do their own thing.
Your kids are great.
I'm pretty proud of them. I give them a ton of grief because I have high expectations, but they're pretty awesome. All right, I have yet to get into Batman, and I got a few more DVDs. I don't know how you're feeling at 1 hour and 25 minutes. Oh, and I got 4.
That's okay. We're going for the record. You said you wanted to go for the record.
Okay. Let's talk about one of my favorite movies. This is Almost Famous. So this is by Cameron Crowe, the guy who did Jerry Maguire. And this is the story of his youth, where he was a sort of a child prodigy when it came to music and writing. And he got a job writing for Cream magazine while he was still in high school. And he traveled around with the Allman Brothers band as a kid and, got into crazy shenanigans with, sex, drugs, and rock and roll in the 70s. And he decided he wanted to tell that story, and he made up a fictional band to stand in for the Allman Brothers. And the movie is called Almost Famous. And this is the director's edition that's often called Untitled, because originally he wanted to name the movie Untitled, like a lot of records were named Untitled back in the day. So it's designed to look a little bit like a photo album. The inside has all these fun like pictures from the set and things like that. And there's 2 editions of the movie. There's the regular edition, and then they've got the bootleg version called Untitled, where it's like another 30 minutes or so added onto the movie. 35 minutes added onto the movie. And it was already long. So the movie ends up becoming almost 3 hours, 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Nice. I gotta look for that. My wife is a big fan of that movie. She loves watching that one.
It's for me, this is like comfort food. Like if I'm not feeling well and I'm just tired, I don't know what to watch. Like I could put this on and absolutely just be transported and enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure.
The music is so good. The acting is so good. It really captures an era of music that I didn't get to experience. I could listen to the songs way later because, like you, I was born in the mid 70s, but I wasn't able to like go to those concerts and see those things. I couldn't see David Bowie in the Ziggy Stardust era, like rocking. Like I couldn't go and see that. So this was a way to kind of, try it out. Or Plant and Page, some of those guys. I couldn't go and see those guys. So that's a great movie. If you've never seen it, great.
Recommend it if you haven't seen it. Yes, definitely.
Totally. The newest disc set that I just got is my favorite Coen Brothers movie. So I got the Criterion collection of Miller's Crossing.
Nice.
If you like a gangster movie, that's what this is. So it's about an Irish gang in Prohibition Chicago. And they have a rival gang that is an Italian gang. And so they're vying for territory. And caught in the middle is Gabriel Byrne, the lead actor from Usual Suspects. And he's on the Irish gang, but he's also sleeping with the Irish boss's girlfriend. And that's not going to go well when that comes out. And he's also the guy who knows how to like play everybody. So the whole movie, you're never quite sure whose side he's really on. And he's friends with everybody and playing everybody. And Miller's Crossing is where they take you to shoot you and kill you and leave you for dead. And so all through the movie, there's people being taken out to Miller's Crossing and being capped, including this moment with John Turturro, which is a phenomenal movie where he's like, a phenomenal moment, where he's begging for his life, and John Turturro plays the girlfriend's brother, and so he's got to decide: do I kill the girl I'm sleeping with's brother because my boss wants me to, or do I let him go? And what problems will that make for me? And Turturro is such a slime ball; he's so good. So underappreciated Coen Brothers movie for me. And so this is the Criterion Edition. I believe it's 2 discs. Of course, it's got his hat right there on the one disc because the imagery from the movie often has Gabriel Byrne's hat blowing down Miller's Crossing. You don't know if it's because he just got shot or what. So they've got a whole inside piece here on American history and how the movie was, part of that Chicago era gangster story and what Gabriel Byrne was going for with his performance in the movie. I think this movie has got some of the best dialogue of any movie I've ever seen, period. There's so many great lines, and the movie goes so fast. It's like an old screwball comedy or something where the dialogue is happening so fast you almost need to watch it 3 times to get everything that people are saying, on top of which everybody is lying, so it's hard to even know what the truth is in any moment. It's a phenomenal ride, and easily my favorite Coen Brothers movie, like no question.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
So I know that, like, some people love Raising Arizona or some of the newer ones they've been doing, True Grit or whatever. The Coen Brothers are very, very talented. But for me, I like all the older stuff better. Like I'm a Fargo, Miller's Crossing, Big Lebowski. Like, give me all the early stuff. That's my favorite stuff.
Yeah, that's some good jam right there, man.
Oh, for sure. But I also like old movies. So I think their older movies often were like talking about, like Barton Fink, like talking about movie making in the 40s, like that kind of stuff really clicks with me. So the next 3 I've got are all old movies. I got The Quiet Man, my favorite John Wayne movie. So this is about an American who travels back to his home country of Ireland, to where his ancestors came from, and the experience he has going to a place he's never been before as an immigrant, basically coming to Ireland. And he was a fighter, a boxer who killed somebody in the ring. And so he's looking for a way to get away from what he dealt with. Ooh, The Searchers is also same. Yeah, Wong, same director, same actor. Great movie, Searchers. To make this movie, the studio's like, nobody wants to see a movie about Ireland. This is going to be boring as heck. So he had to pay to make this movie, and he had to make 3 movies for the studio that were Westerns that would make money. So what they did was all the actors in this movie are in those other 3 Westerns. So he basically said, here's the deal, guys. You're going to get to make 4 movies. I'm going to pay you to make 4 movies. And we're going to go and we're going to shoot these 3 Westerns. I think it was She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, Rio Bravo. I can't remember I can't remember all 3, but he had to make these other 3 Westerns and get enough cachet and money to then be able to go and shoot this movie completely in Ireland. They went to Ireland. They shot almost the whole movie in Ireland. Absolutely great movie. More of a comedy with a little romance, because he meets Maureen O'Hara and tries to convince her to marry him, but she won't marry him unless her brother, because her parents are no longer alive, her brother needs to give permission. Her brother hates John Wayne, so he says no. So it's all about having to like try to trick the brother. There's lots of fist fighting and drinking and getting drunk, and it's very American Irish. So
nice,
phenomenal movie.
Wrote it down. I'm gonna watch it.
If you like John Wayne movies, you like old movies, it is my favorite of his movies. It's not a typical Western like The Searchers, which is top notch, great movie. It's just a different kind of role for John Wayne. On top of which, they shot in color, which wasn't super popular yet at the time, and the movie looks gorgeous. Like, Ireland is super green. John Wayne's eyes are super blue. Maureen O'Hara is super red. Like, the colors are amazing.
Oh,
it's like a Nick Cardy cover the whole time. It's
nice. I'm totally gonna watch that.
But if you'd rather a John Wayne Western, I have the Criterion of Red River. This is a cool set because it's not only the movie, but it's also the book that it's based on. So you can watch a great John Wayne movie, Red River, and Montgomery Clift. There he is. And they aged John Wayne up a little to make him look old. They gave him the gray hair. They gave him fake gray hair. But phenomenal Western. One of his more underrated, underappreciated Westerns. It's got this epic book about how it was made, about the process of the movie and the things they went through to restore it. Great movie.
Oh, sweet.
About a cattle drive where there's almost like a mutiny about what to do with the cattle. And John Wayne is like telling them they got to do one thing. And Montgomery Clift convinces the other guys to go somewhere else. There are 4 discs in this set, because you can watch it as a DVD, Blu-ray, and all these special features and stuff. It is an amazing box set. The Criterion Collection people always do it up. But then you actually get the book that it's based on, Blazing Guns of the Chisholm Trail by Borden Chase, which I'm sorry to say I've never read it. But what a cool addition to throw in to a box set like this.
I watched that one because my brother's a big John Wayne fan.
Oh, is he? Does he have any favorites?
That's actually one of his favorite ones right there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably on the top 5 for my dad, just because he loves it's black and white. You get the classic Western look to the movie. And it's Howard Hawks, really a phenomenal filmmaker who has a great way of building up action. And it all builds to the big fight between Clift and Wayne at the end, which is phenomenal. Just phenomenal.
Dude, that's a classic right there.
Underappreciated. Not a movie that like people really have heard of a lot of times.
You have to be a big fan of them.
Unless you're a big Wayne fan, right?
Yes. Quiet Man. I'm gonna go after and Google and try to buy this on Amazon and get it.
So it's Quiet Man is directed by John Ford. John Ford, who won more Academy Awards for directing and he has still won more Academy Awards for directing than anybody. I think it's 5. And one of them was for The Quiet Man. Searchers, Quiet Man. John Ford was just a phenomenal filmmaker. A bit of a drunk, a bit of a jerk from what I hear. But supremely talented, and one of I think they made a documentary about it. But he's one of the filmmakers. Stagecoach, yeah. Stagecoach. He also did a movie called The Informant about the early days of the IRA, black and white movie, which was, I think he was nominated for that. How Green Was My Valley, about coal mining, I believe it was, in Ireland. But he was one of the filmmakers who went during World War II and traveled with the troops through Europe, and was like doing the newsreel stuff and shooting film in Europe along with the soldiers. So I want to say there were 5 filmmakers. Frank Capra was one of them. And they basically stopped making movies because nobody was doing it. Everybody was like, no, let's, the war is on. We got to do stuff. And so they made propaganda movies for the U.S. They traveled with the troops. They were there on D-Day, like a little after D-Day. They were on the beaches shooting film. Yeah. So there are a couple of documentaries about those guys and how they shaped like American perception of the war. And then, of course, after the war, they made a ton of movies about that time and what they experienced. Because he and John Wayne did a movie about the soldier who invented the Jeep carrier, which was, they said, one of the inventions that allowed them to get across the Pacific Ocean to get to Japan. Because they needed a small craft that would allow the planes to land and refuel and fly to the next spot, because there were no landing spots between really Hawaii and some of those islands like Iwo Jima. So John Wayne played the guy who basically, it's a really good movie, and I'm struggling to remember the name of the movie, but John Wayne plays a soldier in the South Pacific who gets injured so badly he doesn't think he'll be able to walk again. And so he has to learn how to walk again. Maureen O'Hara from Quiet Man plays his nurse. He falls in love with her, learns to walk again. But while he's in rehabilitation, he comes up with the idea of the Jeep carrier. He engineers the design for it. Then they create this amazing invention, and then it like leads to success in the South Pacific.
Oh my God, I'm trying to think.
Yeah, it was called like Angels Have Wings or something like that. Yeah. I can't remember what it's called, but it was a really cool. I had never heard of it, and then it was on TMC one night, and I was just flipping around. I'm like, hey, I haven't seen this black and white John Wayne movie. Let's see what's up.
Oh my God. Wong, if you know that one, let us know, because I know.
Yeah, feel free. I can always look it up at some point and try to remember it.
I know.
But my dad claimed I was named for John Wayne, even though I think he named me for the Irish whiskey, John Jameson Irish whiskey as well. My mom allowed it because her brother was named John. I think that's all that really happened there. So the last discs I brought in, this is also from Simon R., who is one of the nicest people in our community. He heard that my daughter Charlie was enjoying reading Sherlock Holmes mysteries and things. And he's like, has she seen the Basil Rathbone original black and white movies? Because there were a bunch. And I said, no, we haven't seen them. They're not streaming anywhere. And he went and he found this box set. It's super skinny, but it's got all 14 movies on 5 DVD, on 5 Blu-rays. Can I open it? There we go. All in here, all the movies. So several movies on one disc.
Oh, nice.
And you can watch the entire 15-movie run of Basil Rathbone as Sherlock Holmes. We've watched the first 2. We haven't gone beyond that yet, but what a cool gift. And what a great collection, though.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to look for that because I know my buddy's a big Sherlock Holmes fan. That is cool.
And the older films aren't often streaming anywhere. Sometimes they're on HBO with that TMC deal, but I haven't seen most of these on there. We've been very grateful for this set, and we've been slowly working through it because Charlie does love a good mystery. So she likes to try to solve it for herself. Okay. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. God, I got a lot. I got a lot. And we're at 1:40. What are your thoughts here?
Let's check out your Batmans if you want to show those off. That'd be cool.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. So I've been trying to collect Silver Age Batman for a while. So trying to snag some key appearances.
Scarecrow.
I like the villains more than Batman. I like the sidekicks more than Batman. So I tend to go after those books. I just recently posted that one.
Yes.
I got a nicer copy with the pinup. When you buy this book, if you're buying it raw, just a note, there should be a little poster in the center of the book, a centerfold poster. Some eBay sellers might not tell you that it's not there because kids often popped them out and hung them on their wall. So just check when you're buying it, which is why I specifically bought this one slabbed from a Instagram friend because I was like, I just want to make sure that it's complete. I didn't really care how high the grade was. I just wanted it complete,
That's sick.
And then Catwoman. This, I think, is a hugely underrated book. So this is Lois Lane issue 70. 70? Yeah, 70. Catwoman as a character was so risque back in the golden age that the Comic Code Authority shut the character down. They were like, her costume is too risque. The whole whip thing, gotta go, not acceptable. So the character sort of languished for, I want to say it was 15 years, but it might have been a little less. Finally, they figured a way around it and they brought her back. So this is her first Silver Age appearance. Hugely underappreciated book that you can still get really reasonably, I feel like. My buddy Big Will was selling this at one point. I was like, I gotta get it. I gotta just, work me a deal. I don't care what it is. Figure it out.
Yeah, it's a beautiful book.
She's also in issue 71, which is the second issue. So that's her first, but for me, it's almost like her first appearance because I'm never going to get those Golden Age books. But wow, what a great Silver Age first appearance of a character that was gone from comics for a really long time and then was brought back, sort of rebirthed, if you will, here. So those are my best ones. As far as Silver Age goes, my Two-Face first appearance in the Silver Age is at CGC coming back soon too.
I'm gonna have to watch that unboxing.
You will not hear you'll hear me about it all the time. When that box comes back, I'm gonna be posting things like, the most expensive unboxing on John's channel ever. Because the books in there are nuts. There's only 8 of them, and they're all bangers. They're just all it's an expensive box.
Nice.
So I pulled a ton of my favorite Batman stories, and they're all right here. Under the Red Hood, the return of Jason Todd. I think this is a great read. Even if you don't know much about Jason Todd, his return in this is very exciting, very entertaining. It's a giant volume too. You get a ton of story for $29. It's just you can't beat it. It's really well done. Lots of great excitement. And for me, I always like the Robins more than Batman. This was a required reading for me.
I wish they had kept them the same. I actually enjoyed him when he first got introed.
This version,
yes,
as a killer, as a stone cold killer, yeah. Because that put them at odds. But now, of course, he's on Bruce's side, he's got to tone it down, right?
Yes.
It's the natural progression of the Bat character, right? I mean, is he going to become a murderer? Which,
yes.
if you look at something like Dark Knight Rises or Returns, I mean, you have Frank Miller saying he would become a killer. He would use a tank. He would use guns. By this, this comes with the DVD of the movie.
Nice.
Yeah, it was like included with this hardcover is like the discs for the animated movie. So I got this hardcover for my buddy, the boy who had 7, who was giving it away on his channel, and I won the giveaway. And I was like, oh, I gave away my paperback version because I just was like, I'm going to upgrade to this. This looks amazing. But that was what Frank Miller, I mean, he gave him a tank with a big old gun on it. He was killing people. He would kill the Joker. I don't necessarily agree with that extreme. Like, I don't see Batman going to that extreme, but it was certainly an interesting perspective on Batman that I can't deny had a lot of meaning, much like my favorite iteration of Batman, the year 1 Batman. So this is my favorite Bat story, and I am obsessed with the Miller story and the Mazzucchelli artwork. So good.
Yes.
And if you can find a set of these 4 issues, they're pretty well produced. So there's a lot of them out there. They're worth buying. Yeah. I mean, there's a ton of trades. I buy the trade anytime I find it. And if it's like used and I sell it, I give it away. I mean, give it away to friends. Then I've got 4 left here. I got Robin year 1.
Yeah.
Really underappreciated. I think Batgirl year 1 and Robin year 1 by Dixon. Yeah. Chuck Dixon and Scott Beatty. Really, really great. And I think if you want to expand beyond Batman year 1 into some stories that have, in my opinion, like a very similar art style and a similar tone, I think Robin year 1 and Batgirl year 1, which I haven't purchased the hardcover for that yet, both really, really great and entertaining add-ons to the year 1 storylines. Have you read all those? I don't know if you read it.
I have the Robin. I just recently purchased the Batgirl, so I haven't read that one yet.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah. Chuck Dixon is one of my favorite ones of all time. I love his Vengeance and Bane.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. I love that book. I have it in 3 prints, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and I read it like crazy.
Look at you. That's awesome.
Yeah. So when you're pulling those right now, I'm all, yeah, those are great.
Well, and part and parcel with all the year 1 books, those 3, I think, is the Long Halloween. I know that there are some odd leaps in logic in this epic volume. But again, the artwork feels to match for me. This somehow feels like it's like year 2 or whatever. It's a continuation for me of all the great stuff in year 1, where it's not about superpowered villains as much as it is about the city of Gotham, the corruption of Gotham, the criminals, and the mafia stuff, which I think is just way more interesting. Yep. So absolutely must read Batman book for me. And then the one that got me back into collecting, The Hush.
Yes.
You know, I think the Jim Lee artwork. Oh, I flipped right to him fighting Superman. Come on. All day. Yeah. Or for me, what made it better was Poison Ivy. Like, my girl taking over Superman. Come on.
Sick.
This
is actually when I started coming back.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
So freaking good. So the Jim Lee artwork, the Jeff Loeb story. Also, there's several leaps of logic where you're like, does that really make sense? But whatever. Like, it's such a great wild ride. Absolutely just draws you in.
That's a sick collection, brother.
and the last one, of course, Death in the Family. For me, it goes with Red Hood. So I started with the rebirth, and I'll end with his death.
Did you make a phone call?
I did not. My mom would not. My mom would not have let me charge that to the phone because it was like you had to pay. It was like a pay call. It was like a 900 number, right?
Yes.
So that was not going to happen in my household. So those are my favorite Batman stories. Most of them I have in single issues. Not all, but a lot of them. So Hush, I've got all of that. Death in the Family. Long Halloween, I don't have. Robin year 1. Dark Knight Returns. So most of them I've collected by now. I have some of the Red Hood storyline, the keys in that one. So I'm more of a Batman key collector, and then I read the trades.
Oh, nice. Yeah, the Batman Red Hood I have in single issue, and then the Hush one I do too, because that's the main part where it got me back into Batman, and I started right there, and I was like, oh my god! And I've always been a Jim Lee fan since freaking early X-Men.
Right.
When I saw his art, I was like, oh my god! And I blame my friend because he showed me that, and I'm like, let's go to the comic shop. I need to get it. Damn it.
Well, and I think that's how I got back into collecting. Was I just got married, and we were a new shop had kind of opened near me, and I was like, I want to try it out. I haven't been to a comic book shop in forever, and I drove over, and they just started Hush, and I was like, Jim Lee's drawing Batman? Let's do this. And I got a bunch of the issues, and then ever since then, I've just been back into collecting. That shop that I went to is my current LCS. So I've been going to them my oldest is now 14, so she wasn't born yet. So it's been almost 20 years I've been going to the same LCS. Just Kenny's shop. He recommends so many great things to me. So huge shout out to Nuclear Comics.
Nuclear Comics, you're out there, brother. I love your shop, and your employees are always welcoming and fun. So I've been there 4 times now, so I love that shop. That's a hidden gem.
Tiny little shop. It's not like the best back issue shop, but for trades and new issues, which is mostly what I get at this point in my life, I buy the bigger stuff, from friends in the community. It's the perfect new comic book day shop for me.
But their back issues, you can get lost there, because I bought a big chunk of my Transformer run there and G.I. Joe.
He just got in a whole new set of the full run of Transformers and the full run of G.I. Joe.
Oh, I gotta go.
Check on his eBay on his Instagram, because he just posted it, and I actually went straight to him and I said, how much for the final issue of G.I. Joe? Because I love that final issue. It's so good. And I have a friend that wanted one. I have one, and I was like, maybe I can get it for him. So he's pricing those, just so you know.
I'm gonna DM him. Oh, I
should
need 6 more issues of the Transformers to finish it,
dude. Yeah, he's got he said near complete, and he flipped through it, and you're like, damn, I don't know what he's missing, because there's a ton of issues in there.
Oh, okay, I'll totally DM
hit him up.
I'll do it. I'll do it after.
All right, I'll share one more thing. All right, let's just do 2. Let's do 2 more things.
Yeah,
I'll finish with the one that I know Robert. Robert, you're here now. I'm gonna do this for you, Robert. I know you.
What's up, brother?
I know you love this run, and I have the giant, oversized trade, epic sized trade of Silver Surfer Black. I think it's an amazing story. I think it's beautifully done, and I think the artwork is buck wild stunning. And it is absolutely just a masterpiece. I don't think it's Donny Cates' best thing, because I still love God Country a ton, and I love his Thanos run. So good. But I know Robert and I have geeked over Silver Surfer Black a ton. I know he's a big Silver Surfer fan, and I think he even I think, Robert, you ended up buying this volume, if I'm not mistaken. I love that it includes all the alternate variant covers. So if you want to see all the different covers, it's got, every time you finish an issue in here, it'll give you those other variants. And you can be like, oh, cool. What are the other options? Some people don't like Tradd Moore's art, and I get it.
I like it.
I think for this book, it is perfect. And the way he gets into the cosmos just in his artwork, it reminds me of like Starlin and some of the stuff he used to do with taking cosmic imagery to another level, right? So I absolutely love these early drawings at the beginning, especially when he's like drifting through the black hole of space and time. So cool.
You're hitting his G spot.
I know it, brother, because you and I are the same on this one. I mean, look at this. Fighting Null. This is the best Null story. I'm sorry. Yeah. I've read all the Venom run. I've read everything he's been in, basically. This is the perfect Null story. It's got to be Surfer versus Null. It's perfect. So, yeah, if you can find it in this format and you've never read it, buy it. This was, again, for $29. I've way more book size-wise, but story-wise. for $29. Worth it. All right, last one. So I don't know how long Morbius went, but I think we beat him already.
Yeah, you beat him.
my favorite Thor run
Nice.
is Jason Aaron's run, and I love the Jane Foster story arc. I love the God of Thunder story arc.
Yes.
I mean, I've got almost the entire run. I think I'm just missing a handful of non-key issues from God of Thunder all the way through the death of Jane Foster final issue there. I'm only missing
about this. You never DM'd me. Remember when I met you, I have extra. So DM me.
Oh, I gotta send you them. I'll send you my list.
Yeah, give me your list. I think I know it's in one of my long boxes.
Huh? Yeah, I'm only missing a few, and I've just little by little been snagging them. I really am on the lookout for, as far as one of the rarer variants. There's a Virgin variant by Art Germ of the death of Jane Foster. That one I'm really looking for. It's a great book.
All right.
But it's just a great read. If you haven't read, they sell now the complete Jason Aaron Thor volumes. I think they're on volume 4. Great books, great reading, lots of great entertainment. If you've never read Thor, it's a perfect entry point. You can really get into Thor and the mythology. And then the first arc, all that Esad Ribic, beautiful masterpieces of artwork. So good. Yes. I like Russell Dodderman a lot, so I like his digital artwork that he does. Most digital artwork I don't love, but Dodderman's Jane Foster arc, really, really great. I think the artwork came across really strong. And so, yeah, that's one that's a real modern Thor arc that I think people should give a shot to if they haven't.
Yes, definitely. That's sweet, though. You have that in a 9.8. That's a beautiful book.
I didn't hold up the origin of Gore the God Butcher. That got a 9.4. That one got hammered. But yeah, I got the two ones that I really wanted came back in 9.8s. And I had 2 of these, but I traded one away to get some cool stuff.
Oh, nice. That Jane cover, I have it in a 9.8. I traded some wrestling stuff when I was a kid. I had a couple of autographs. I went with Fist. Shout out to Fist Comics. That's a little shop you might want to check out. They have a lot of back issue stuff.
Where's that?
It's in near Whittier. So I guess Santa Fe Springs is it?
Okay.
He does great deals. So if you have a book you find and you give him a price, he usually works with you. And once you come back, Robert always some Comics on the Edge goes there at night. So they're open late.
Oh, wow.
So like usually from 4 to like midnight, and they always do live sales on Instagram. But,
that's perfect for them.
Yeah, they always work. He traded some wrestling because he's a big wrestling fan. I go, I have Kurt Angle's autograph and Undertaker's on there. And he was like, I'll trade you. So he traded with me.
If that next Thor movie is half as good as this series, Jane Foster first appearance or first issue here, the reveal of Jane Foster or whatever, that's going to be an even bigger book than it already is, which is it became a pretty big book for a bit there.
Yeah, totally. Those are 2 sweet books, brother.
Thanks.
Oh yeah, whole collection is amazing.
I mean, we went pretty far. Morbius, you'll have to come back again and see if you can trump that.
Maybe I'll have a battle between you guys and come back.
I don't know that I can play head to head. He's pretty badass.
Yes, he is. You guys are both. You're not too shabby, brother. Your collection's amazing. Don't hold yourself down, man. You have a great collection. Thanks for sharing.
Heck yeah. Thanks for having me.
Your Legos, and you have a lot of Legos, but hey, I know you have to do another show in a little bit. So,
and at some point you're going to run out of YouTube.
Thank you, brother, for chilling with me. I had a blast. Again, if you guys are watching the replay, sub him up. He has great content, especially with his girls. And then the Kamagoris, oh my God, it's hilarious. Usually my wife time, but when I can sneak in, I always watch it.
It's a fun one on the replay. I've watched a few on the replay just for the fun of it, because you never know what the chat's going to pick, and you never know what books people are going to pull. You get some buck, like we had Promiscuous Time Traveler on last time. Bring
that one up.
Kyle pulls the best, and he's like, dude, I totally was mocking the show because I picked my books before the show even started. He had chosen which books he was going to play before the show started, and then when I would count the timer down, he would just stand off to the side waiting, and then come back in with the one he picked. It was hilarious.
Yes, it was hilarious. I actually watched it. 2-hour banger. Yes, John has a record, brother, and I'm happy. I'm super happy I got to experience this, brother. I do. Thank you. So we'll see you next Saturday, Rob. I think we're gonna put in a group chat so we can get together.
Nice.
But follow this guy. If you don't follow this guy, you're missing great content. Check him out on Instagram, on TikTok, and here on YouTube. Big fan. Love that you're a SoCal brother. Now I get to hang out with you, man. So
we gotta get. I haven't been hunting in a long while, so I'm looking forward to that.
Nice. We'll get this done. Well done, brother. Yes. Yeah. See, I know it. Steve will hear. If you're gonna come back and check the replay, I know you're doing stuff. We're gonna do it this Saturday, so we're gonna go hunt. We'll do it after the show. So shops open at what? 12, 11 o'clock. I think around that
time. I'm gonna have to check with Justin as far as what time he is trying to reschedule something with me that Saturday. We'll see.
Okay, for sure. Then
hunting with you guys would be way better than sitting backstage.
Get back with us, John, and then I'll do a group chat with all of us. Perfect. Thank you again, brother. I am super honored that you're here. I had so much fun. This is better than the Super Bowl. Just kidding. But this was fun. Everybody, please sub him up. He has great stuff. So if you want to see some great stuff, check him out. Thank you, everybody, again. John, if you want to plug anybody else on or just throw some love.
No, man, I feel like I've talked enough. You're killing it, man. Thanks for having me. Thank you again. You have a great weekend, great Sunday. Maybe I'll check out that live show, see if I can find some stuff there. For sure. But thank you, everybody. All you guys have a great one. Next week, I'm going to have J. Rouse Q on the show. Nice.
So
She's awesome.
Tune in next Sunday. Thank you again, everybody. And you guys have a great Sunday.